Hello. Oops, there we go. Gotta love technology. Hi, everyone, and welcome. It is Monday night, and it is a bit of an unusual broadcast that I don't normally go live on a Monday night. But Spirit has been leading me to this for a little while. And also, I'm having people being put in front of me. And as the description in the video or above the video shows, that we're going to discuss pain today. All right. I just want to say hi. We've got some few people here. Say hi in the comments. Let me know that you are watching. Please know this is a safe place to get involved, make comments, let me know what's going on in your life. Hey, Naomi. And know, like I said, it is a safe place to be able to share what you are going through. Hi, Sky. Anne is here as well. Hey, honey. And Tiana is here. We've got Tyler. Hi, guys. And Sharon is here. Beautiful. And Beth. So I will go back and read your comments in a moment because I did see Sharon has put there. Actually, let's go back to it now saying debilitating pain, knees and hips. Oh, honey, I'm feeling you. I need a knee replacement. So I totally understand what pain's like. I will tell you a little bit about my story in a moment before we get started. Hey, Natalie, how you going? But I do want to make it clear, as I am a psychic medium, I'm not here to push that tonight, and I'm certainly not here to give readings tonight. This is more about telling you a little bit about myself and talking about the things over the years that I have lived with chronic pain, on the tools and the my lifestyle that I have sort of put in place to help me manage my pain and deal with it to the best that I possibly can. Now, I do want to make it clear I am not trained in medical in any way. I do not believe in telling you to go off of medication or do anything that is not recommended by your doctor. So if you do have something that is coming up and you're a little bit worried about it or you're unsure, please do seek professional medical help because I certainly am not trained. The information I give you tonight is basically the tools and the experience that I have, and I just feel the need to sort of share at the moment because I feel if I could help one person with one thing in their life, give you one tool that may help or may have you look at something a little bit different that is going to help you on your pathway with living with chronic pain or whatever your situation is, my job is done. That's the way I see it. Okay. And I know the struggles. So let me tell you a little bit about me, because I'm noticing there are quite a few names here coming through on the broadcast that I don't recognize. So if you're new to my page, please do hit the follow button, because I'd love to follow you on your journey and be here and help support each other, because I know how hard it is moving through life with pain. And I know the impact that it has on our loved ones as well, our family, our friends, when we are in pain. So, if you are watching from any other page that I have cross posted, please jump into Leanne Winston Psychic Medium so I can see your comments here in the background, like the lovely people are here now as well. And Triggs here and Cindy is here as well. Now, I do apologize if I do pronounce your name wrong. I'm not great at names. And I do, Kitta, I am not doing readings tonight. We are talking about how to manage pain. I do ask people, if you know somebody else that is in pain, or you are inside of groups and it's okay for those groups to share videos and stuff, please do share, because the more people that we can help and pull together, I honestly feel the more we can support each other as well. All right, so I do go off in different directions at times, and it can be led by spirit at times as well. But I want to introduce myself. I'm Leanne. I am pretty much nearly 49 years of age next year. I have lived with chronic pain for quite a while now. I have had several injuries over the last 20 odd years, two of them being work related, and the third one was a roof that fell on me and some of my family members. So if you can imagine a roof about 24 meters long, I think it was actually 23 meters long, and wide was 4 meters, with the whole veranda roof collapsing in one big piece with 5 of us underneath it. Okay, so I got stuck under it. My mum was wedged between a table and the roof. All right, so I actually live with the biggest diagnosis being fibromyalgia. And for those that do know what fibro is, let me know in the comments, do you have fibro or a chronic fatigue syndrome? Okay, so for those that don't know what fibro is, it's very much to do with the nerve ends. Okay, we feel pain in different parts of our body. All right. So I'm just going to say, put people's comments up there that are saying hi to everybody, and thank you for joining me. Okay. So for me, I get shooting pain throughout my body. Now, I do believe that fibromyalgia can affect people in different ways. So my symptoms to somebody else's symptoms may be very different. I know when my fibro is flaring up, because the very first thing that I experience myself is my eyesight goes very blurry. And as I know, Simone has fibro as well. Linda's here saying hi as well. Hey, honey. All right. So for me, like I said, I get shooting pain. I get a massive high level of fatigue where I can get out of bed in the morning and I can feel quite fine after a good night's sleep. By the time I have had a shower, that can be enough to make me need to go back to bed or to spend the next day on the couch. I have had times where I have got out of the shower and my poor husband has had to actually help me to stand up and dry me and get me back to bed, because it can come on that quickly. All right. So for me, I have learnt over time that there's pain that I need to push through, and there's pain levels that I need to listen to. And fortunately for me, I am very in touch with my body due to the work the energy work I do. So that does help me in that side of things. Okay. I need a knee replacement. Well, both my knees probably need replacing, but my right knee is really bad. The surgeon back in, I think it was October, I seen the knee surgeon, and he said that he has never seen a knee with so much arthritic energy in it. Most people will have arthritis in one part of the knee. I have it in all three bones of the knee. So it can get to the point that it can be like very disabling and very hard to walk. My friends have seen that at times where I really struggle. So we've got a few more people coming in. And my cousin Kylie's here and my mum Margaret. Hey Kylie, how you going? And I have also been diagnosed with arthritis in my hips and my knee joints as well after a body scan. So I also suffer from migraines. Now my migraines at time, touch wood, whoops, sorry, bumping my mic. Touch wood, I might get to maybe 2 a year, sometimes 3 a year, depending on how much I push my body. My migraines are the sort of migraines that stop you dead in your tracks. You feel it come on, you've got less than 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to get yourself into a place that you're safe and that can just sleep it off. My migraines usually consist of a lot of vomiting, but to the point that I can't keep fluids down and end up in hospital for 5-6 hours on a drip. So that's the extent of my migraines. Beth, so excited you're coming to Gawler, sweetheart. Yes, I will be there for the ladies' night in July, so I look forward to seeing you there, hon. So don't forget to share in the comments what it is that you suffer with pain. And for me, if my doctors had their way, I would be on about 8 or 9 tablets a day. Now, I choose to take 2 tablets a day, which are my blood pressure tablets that I really need to have. I do also take a tablet called MSM 1500. It's Mum, can you put the brand there in the comments for me, please? And you get it through Chemist Warehouse. That also helps with joint pain and stuff like that. But that is something that I'm certainly trying, like have been using. Beth says, broken heart. Oh, honey, my heart goes out to you. Bethel also says, my migraines are the same. Yeah, they're not good, are they, honey? So over the years, I have really suffered. I have with my back injury, also through a work injury, through repetitive work. I went through work cover and the stress of all that for over 3 years with that, with also having a young child, and then went on to have another second child. So I have 2 girls that are now like 17 and 21. But when they were young, like I'm talking 4 and 1 or 5 and 1 sort of thing, probably even younger than that, probably 3 and 18 months, I was at a point where there was a time that I just could only lay on the lounge. Now, my husband was working, I'd be laying on the lounge for the day trying to sleep off migraine or deal with my pain and try to look after them as well. I'm very fortunate my oldest daughter was a real mother goose, so she very much could help with my younger child in that sense. But my kids don't know life without mum being in pain. Okay. They know mum has different levels of pains, and there certainly was a lot of the times when they were younger that there were a lot of things that we couldn't do because I was in pain. With my pain in the past, and I'm talking back in the early days, in my late 20s, early 30s, there were times I would have panic attacks going out into public. There were times when I was going through the work cover stuff, I'd get halfway to work, driving to work, which was about 25 minutes from where we lived, and have to pull over and could not go any further for periods of time and end up turning around and going home because I just couldn't cope with the pain or the pressure that of being on work cover and them trying to push me back into the workforce as soon as possible. So I know what it's like to be outside of your comfort zone when you live in pain, and it's not the easiest thing either. My life, I guess I spent a lot of time not going out, not attending an events because I was not comfortable, because I just didn't know how to manage my pain at those times either. So we've got a few more people coming in. Jody says, nerve pain since my daughter's C-section for 8 years, knee and hip pain as well. Okay, and just says, hi, do you feel what month I'll give birth? No, honey, I'm not doing readings tonight. I'm talking about pain, but please do join in and stay tuned, because you never know, with the tips and the tools that I have learnt over my years of living with pain for probably a good 20 years now, I may be able to give you some hints to help you with labour pain. All right, so hey, Bianca, and Rashina is here too. Hey, honey, I hope you're doing well. So for those that haven't done so, please do share with me what sort of pain you suffer with or live with. I don't like to think of it as suffering, and I'll explain why shortly in that. Naomi's saying, I'm in the hospital after a lumbar spine fusion, started hydrotherapy tomorrow. I can't dress myself. Oh, you poor thing. All right. So I send each and every one of you healing energy as well, because I am a healer at the same time. Rashina's just giving me the hearts. Beautiful, honey. Tyler, that's what bothers me. Little ones are realizing there are limits around pain levels. Yeah, the pain can be very debilitating, but we can also give in to pain too easy in my and now, like I said, I'm not an expert. I am not trained in medical in any way, for those that missed the beginning of this. But we can allow pain to control us. Okay, now I'm not saying that, sorry, let me get to that in a moment. I lived that too. Work cover pushed me back to work too soon. Just, yeah, they have a lot to answer for at times as well. Just had another spinal surgery. Sending you lots of healing, honey. Jody says, snap, I was the same with work cover. Yeah, work cover. And here is my baby girl here. Oh, hi, child. So she can certainly relate to a lot what we will be speaking to, because she has witnessed, my daughter Tara has witnessed a lot that, for all of her life. I was in pain before I actually conceived her. So, all right. So, like I said, I'm not an expert. I can only share with you the tips and the tricks, so to speak, the tools that I have in my toolbox that I have used to manage pain over time. Like I said, for those that don't know me, I am a psychic medium. I work with energy. So I've been able to create some tools for myself and pull on the energy tools to be able to help myself. Okay. Now, I want you to think about pain, and I want you to think about where in your body you've got pain, because the mind is a very strong tool in itself. Okay. Hey, Rachel. Okay. The mind, when we get into pain, what happens is when we get into that pain set now, I want to say, first of all, there are lots of different pains. There is the physical pain, and there are the emotional pain. And then from that, we can then have different things that cause our pain. Now, for me, it doesn't show up on the x-rays. I had all the tests done in the world, and they kept saying it's in your head, there is no pain, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of you can probably relate to that you are in have chronic pain, and the doctors will snob you off because they can't see the physical side of it. Okay. Oh, thank you, Naomi. It's my pleasure to be able to do this and to share this with you. Melissa says, I've had bad lower back pain. Okay. And Cameron says ankles are the most painful. Yeah, and do you know what? I'm not going to Victoria. Hi, honey. How you going? I do not want to dismiss anybody's pains, because we all have different pain tolerances as well. So, you might feel your pain is worse. Somebody else might feel theirs are. And we honestly, I want to say and make this point, because I want you to think of this from two sides. I want you to think of this from your point of view, living with pain, But I also want you to think about your family, your loved ones, your friends around you from their point of view. Everybody has a different pain tolerance. We all cope with different things in different ways. And when somebody cannot see something physical on the outside, or if you're not like you're diagnosed with something, if they can't see that or got a name to put to it, a lot of the time they cannot understand your pain. And I'm going to use my mum for an example, and I know she's still watching. My mum used to say to me, and I'm sure my mum doesn't mind me sharing this because I've had this conversation with her in the past. My mum used to say to me, "You're always in pain, you're always tired, you're always exhausted." Okay, like it was a bad thing. And yes, that's what she got to see in me when we visited or they visited us. But it wasn't until my mum needed her knees replaced that she truly understood what pain was. Because some people can go through life and not experience pain, not major pain, chronic pain. Acute pain is one thing, chronic pain and to be in chronic pain every day is another thing, especially when you can't get any relief. Okay. As I was saying before, my doctors would have me on heaps of medication if they could. And I've been there, I've done the medication, but for me, it didn't work. It wasn't right. And I have tried numerous amounts of different medications, and the only thing that I seemed to have was the side effect of putting on weight. They might work for a very short time, and then they wouldn't, or they would try something new. Okay, so if you're on medication, I'm not saying go off of it. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. The point I want to make when it comes to pain is we need to do what is right for us. Nobody else knows. Okay. I also want you to think about what you've been through in your life. Okay. I am a very big believer when we hold stuff in our energetic field, our aura, and we don't deal with that stuff, our physical body can go, enough is enough. I can't keep carrying this energy. I'm going to turn it into something physical. Okay. And that's where we start to get the physical stuff. All right. So you think about it, decades ago, a lot of the older people, when things happen in their lives, they didn't like to talk about it. They would close down. Okay. And it is very common to see a couple of generations ago, a lot of people, older people, would die of cancer. Okay. Because what they have done through their lives is carried that energy. They have closed down to everything. Sorry, guys, I just realized I've got my inner soul guidance thing going across the bottom of the screen. Let me take that off. I will share my website with you later on if anybody wants to contact me through that, though. Okay, just remind me. So they've held on to that energy and they've carried that energy rather than dealing with the grief or the trauma or whatever it is that they've experienced in their life. And that's where the body goes, enough is enough. I can't carry it. I'm going to turn this energy into the physical side, and then the illnesses and stuff come out in that way. Okay. Nicole is saying, my neck is always bad every day. Yep, I got neck problems too, honey. Mine's muscular. Chronic pain, I've tried painkillers, etc. I don't like it. I never either did as well. And I'm going to help you with some breathing techniques shortly that will help release the muscles and different stuff, hopefully, that I use with that. Cameron says having a major op, soon to fix it. Thank God. Beautiful, honey. Sometimes we can't always go down that pathway. And, I guess, Cameron, in your sense, it's, how do I say this without, now please, nobody get offended by the things that I say. Like I said, everybody is different. We all have our own things and stuff. But sometimes to be able to see something on an X-ray or in a scan can, I don't want to say make it easier, but it gives you a better understanding of why you're feeling what you are. For those that have stuff that you can't, sometimes, like for me, I know in my own experience, I went through a time period where I was really frustrated. The fact that they're not finding stuff on the scans and they say it's in your head, or people start to disbelieve you because you're not getting a clear diagnosis in that sense. So let me know if you're a little bit like that. Can you, with what you're experiencing with your pain, let me know in the comments. Do you have um, a physical diagnosis that they can see something, or is it more to do with nerve ends, that type of thing? Okay. Naomi says, I did an 8-week chronic pain management course, which was invaluable. I've learnt tools to help manage the pain, such as using heat, ice, stretching, nerve slides, and guided meditations, deep breathing, gratitude. I try to use all of these. Perfect, honey. Excellent. I love it. I did back in the, when was it, late 90s. I did a 6-month pain management course, and yes, there were things in there that really helped me in that side of it as well. Cameron's got flat feet up. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I haven't heard of that one beforehand. So are they sort of strengthening like the arch of your feet? Am I on the right pathway there, hun? Maybe you could let me know. Nicole says, yes, I've had so many scans and nothing shows up. Okay. And that's the thing, because we hold on to energy, we hold stress, our body tenses up to it. Okay. And I want you to think about your breathing when you are in pain. Okay. So if you're in pain 24/7, my guess is you're a rapid and a slow breather. Okay. Because what happens is when we're in pain, we tense up our body. Our body knows how to hold that energy and that stress. And we start breathing very rapidly and shallow to the chest idea. Okay. Ideally, we want to breathe slowly and deep, long breaths, because what we're doing when we do that is we breathe in the oxygen and get that into our blood that circulates through our body, and it helps with pain and heals. When we're a rapid, shallow breather, we're not getting that oxygen, but we're holding that tension in our bodies, and that can then create the anxiety, the panic, and stuff. Let me know in the comments, are you somebody that suffers with anxiety? Okay, because I think it is quite common for people in pain, with what I have experienced and seen in the past. That people with pain, like chronic pain, will quite often become anxious, depressed, and stuff. So Cameron's just saying, yes, that's right. My ankle turns in. Wow, that sounds very painful, huh? Okay. Tyler says they have no cure for enterodermitis. I can never say that word, honey. Sorry. It continues to grow back within my body. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Now, I want you. Where do I go? Hey, Louise. How you going, honey? Jody's saying very much. Documentary, I'm not doing readings tonight. We are talking about pain, but please feel free to join in. Nicole says, yes, anxiety, major anxiety. And Carmen says, it sometimes feels like getting up. Wow. Okay. All right. So, focusing on your breath work, trying to slow that down when we're in pain, it can be hard to break the cycles. So for me, I had to realize that's what I was doing and work on practicing and slowing my breath work down. What we can do, and I don't actually have my watch on, I'll explain it to you and I will let you do it. Okay. You can do this a little bit later. What I want you to do to tell how you breathe, whether you're a rapid breather or you're a slow breather, is to time yourself for 30 seconds. Now, a breath is breathing in, holding it, and releasing. Okay, so that is one breath. So if you time yourself for 30 seconds and count how many times you take one breath in and out, being one breath, and then times it by 2 for a minute, that is going to show you how many times you breathe within a minute, okay? Now, a rapid breather could be 20, 30 breaths a minute. Somebody that breathes deep and slow and gets that oxygen moving and circulating around their blood system will be low. Now, if I remember correctly, when I first did this as part of my pain management course many years ago, and I'm talking like 18 years ago now, at least, okay, I think I was up about 23 breaths per minute, okay? These days, I can get my breath down to 4, okay, without feeling like I'm suffocating or going without oxygen sort of thing. So by doing that, and breath work is a really good way of meditation, which we'll talk about shortly as well. And so by doing that, I'm helping my body to circulate, okay? When we have pain, our body remembers pain. And when we're in pain, we're telling our mind we're in pain. So when we're in pain, it can continue to give us pain. Sometimes we can have injuries or illnesses that will heal and mend, but the body remembers the pain. So what happens in those circumstances is all our cells, if you picture your body being full of all the little cells in your joints, your muscles, your fibers, they can become very unhappy and unhealthy, and they hold on to that pain and they shrivel up. And I picture it as being very unhappy sort of thing. So what we can do with our breath work is focus. So if I've got pain like in my shoulder, which I quite often get, I focus my breath going into that part of my body, and I see the cells becoming happier and healthy and more relaxed. And when I'm breathing out, I'm actually letting go of that negative energy that sits in that area, okay? Because when we do have injuries and illnesses and stuff, we hold energy in those areas as well. Alison says, I don't have a lot of disabilities with my MS, but have a lot of fatigue and pain, and people don't understand. I don't have the energy. I go out, do a lot all the time. Honey, my family has MS in it. I personally haven't been diagnosed and hopefully will never be diagnosed with that, but I do see the toll that it takes on the family members in our family that do have it. So I can only imagine what you are feeling, but my heart does go out to you as well. Okay. I'm I'm a big believer that we need to keep moving, okay? I'm a big believer if we don't use it, we lose it, so to speak, in that sense. And I do have an auntie that has chronic MS and is in a wheelchair at times, okay? I don't want to say too much about it because she hasn't given me the permission to talk about her health issues and stuff, but there are times that I've had multiple conversations with her at times that she gets herself into a very much a negative mind state. Now, I totally understand what it's like to be in pain and how easy it can be over time to get back in, like get into that mindset, into that negative place as well. And that's where I'm a big believer on using the mind. So I got an itchy eye now. Using the mind, the thought process, and changing the way we think to how the body will react at times as well. So, like I said before, when we feel pain and think we're in pain, we keep telling our mind, our brain, that we are in pain, and our body will do what our mind is told. So if we're thinking it, we're going to keep creating it. It's the same as negativity. I'm a big believer when I'm focusing on my spiritual stuff with people and my clients that if you're in a negative mindset, you're going to keep bringing that negative energy in. You're going to manifest it. If you're in a positive mindset, you're going to bring positive energy into your life. So the hardest thing is to acknowledge when you are in that negative mindset, what your thoughts are doing, where your mind is going, and pulling yourself up and turning it around. So I always say to people, if you're having negative thoughts and in that mindset, first of all, acknowledge you are. Look at what your thoughts are. Give gratitude, release it, and change it with a positive mindset. Change it around to a positive thought, okay? There is nothing wrong, I believe, with having moments of negativity, but it is how we deal with it and how we move past it. So if you are somebody that gets in a very much a negative mindset with your illness, your pain levels, you may find that I am well, thank you, Cheryl. You may find that you just keep thinking negative thoughts, okay, and bringing that energy in. I have negative times. I have my moments, and I might give myself an hour or 2 hours to feel sorry for myself, and then I'll give myself the kick up the bum and turn it around and push through it, okay? So look at where your mindset is. Are you a negative? Maybe while I rub my eye, something's irritating me, which can be very much a part of my fibro as well. Let me know in the comments, are you a negative person or are you more of a positive person? Okay. I'm talking in general. I'm hoping. Okay, thanks, Nicole. Not sure what you mean there, honey. Oh, sorry, more another comment part here. So true, thank you, Leanne. I have been seated here to do an exercise. Oh wow. Okay, Cameron says I do get depressed a lot. Yep, that's very much a big part of the pain cycle, honey. It helps. Yep. Beautiful. Okay, it helps. Thanks, Nicole. So let me know in the comments whether you find yourself in that negative mindset. My goodness, that's going to annoy me now. Or if you are somebody that is more of a positive person. Rheumatoid arthritis, Kaz, I feel you, honey. That's what they think I've got as well, is rheumatoid. All right. And I think my dad's got rheumatoid arthritis as well. Okay. So look at, firstly, I want you to start thinking about where your mindset is. Are you a negative person or are you a positive person? If in a negative mindset, try to turn it around. Now, don't be hard on yourself either, because we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves as well. And we quite often find that where was I going with that? Sorry, I'm just seeing a comment about glasses, but I didn't quite read what it all was. We quite often find that we will continue that mindset going and it's hard to break. I believe that they say things take 21 days or 28 days to break cycles. I believe it's more about 30, 33 days for myself in that sense. So if I get myself into that negative mindset, I then keep pulling myself up for that amount of days until things start to become habit and I find myself staying in that positive. Keza says, I try and stay strong. Beautiful. Excellent. And that's the thing. We've got to keep doing the work on ourselves. We've got to keep nurturing us and do it without feeling guilty, because there is, like I said, there are times we need to push through our pain, depending on what your pain is coming from and where it is coming from. And there are times that I need to go, enough is enough. Okay. Only myself, I know for me when to push through and when not to. Okay. In saying that, I'm a mother of two, as I explained, husband, household to maintain. I'm lucky my kids have learnt from a young age they need to do their own washing. So from the age of 6 or 7, my kids were doing their weekly washing, putting it in the washing machine, putting it in the dryer or hanging it up or whatever was needed at the time. And my husband does his own in that sense, okay? Dad has osteoarthritis. Thanks, Mum. So there's times I've got to delegate stuff. I can't go and hang clothes on the line because I end up in a hospital with a migraine and end up on a drip. Joanna's saying, you're so right. Thank you, honey. So, and you know what pain is like. We've had that conversation just recently about what you have been through. Okay. So nurture yourself. Don't feel guilty by doing it. Like I said, know when to push through and when to rest in that side of it. And the more we can nurture and listen to our bodies and implement tools to help ourselves, that we find tools that that will work for us, because everybody is different in the way they do things as well. So the very first thing I do is I focus on my breath work. I slow it down. I see myself breathing into that area where I have the pain, and I release that tension. Because a lot of the time when we're in pain, we're tense, our muscles tense up and hold on to that stress, and they forget how to release in that way. Pacing yourself is the hardest to learn. It is, because especially as adults, we are taught there are certain things we need to do. If you've got family, you've got to be there and do what you need to do for them in that sense. Naomi, totally agree. I struggle to ask for help. Okay. There is nothing wrong for asking for help. Okay. I was very fortunate over time when my husband got a better understanding of my pain, and my children are both my girls are excellent with that. There's times they drag me to the hospital when I have a migraine, my lips might be turning purple, or they've monitored my vomiting for so long and go, right, Mum, that's it, we're going to the hospital. So I'm very fortunate to have a good support system around me in that sense. And I know if I need, my parents are only about 30 minutes away and they will come running if I ask for help. I try to monitor and manage things a lot in myself. Okay. Like I said, there's times I know I need to rest and I will do that. Okay. So Spirit's just drawing me to sharing a situation with you. Now, I'm going back, and I want to give this as an example to help people understand. Okay. About 6 years ago now, I would say it is, I had a lady from the Blue Mountains. Now, I live in Mount Barker, South Australia. I had a lady from the Blue Mountains that I had never connected with reach out to me. She was desperate. She was in hospital 250 Ks by memory. It was over 200 Ks away from home from her fiance and her 3-year-old son at that time. She was in hospital with cancer. She'd been diagnosed with breast cancer. It had spread, and her biggest thing was, all she wanted to do was get her health to a level that she could return to the local hospital that would then be able to treat her at a certain level. The way she was and how bad she was, she had to be in a major city hospital that was so far from home. Her fiance back then was looking after their son, trying to work a full-time job to keep paying the bills and the mortgage and all that stuff. You know how it goes. And she felt so alone because she had nobody with her. So she reached out to me this day and explained her story, her situation. And I said to her, you need to picture in your mind tomorrow when the doctors come back to you with your blood results, because they were taking bloods constantly, that your blood levels are reading at a level that is going to get you home to your local hospital. Okay. You need to hear them saying it. You need to picture that in your mind and feel that energy. Okay. I think it was actually about 2 days that I've been working with her both days on a bit of breath work, relaxing, and seeing the blood results being what they needed to be. She went quiet for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden she reached out to me again and she says, Leanne, I just got to thank you. And I'm like, what did I do? Sort of thing. She says, I got the blood results. I got better than what I expected. I didn't need to go to the local hospital. I have come home and now are home with my son and my fiance where I want to be, where I need to be. Okay. So I just worked with her for a little bit longer and just said, do the breathing, see your body healing and whatnot. She went quiet for a couple of weeks, I think 3-4 weeks. She contacted me again. She was back in hospital. She had fallen over her son's Tonka truck, and because her body was so riddled with cancer, her bones were frail and she broke her leg. So then we started working with her breath work and doing some more work. Long story short, this went on, like when she first contacted me, she was given 2 months to live. Okay. at the very best. Over time and doing the work with her, and I'm not saying it's this work, like the work that we were doing that healed her, but or helped her, but it did help find a balance, okay? She was a very depressed person when I started talking to her. She was anxious. You can only imagine when you're being told that you've only got 2 months to live, and she's got a young child that she didn't wanna leave, okay? So that was always going through her mind. But over time and doing the work with her, she went back into having radiation and chemo, which she was told she couldn't have any more of because of how her body was. Over that time of doing the breath work and working on her mindset, she was able to change her blood levels and her results and slow the cancer down. Okay. So she went home, she went back into hospital a couple of times, and she says, she got to the stage, she says, "All I want to do now, because I know I'm dying, is walk down the aisle with my husband and see my son start school." All right. So when I started talking to her, like I said, he was only 3, and she got to walk down the aisle doing the work. Okay. She went through chemo and stuff like that. She got to walk down the aisle, marry the man of her dreams, and she also got to see her son start school. And I think she lived for about to see him go through reception and into year 1, so about a year and a half of his schooling. When she was going through chemo, we were focusing on the chemo being a positive thing and going in through her body, and I was helping her go into meditation. It's like she would be sitting having treatment and I'd be talking to her. Seeing the chemo go through her body as a positive thing and heal and move the heavy, dark energy sort of thing, bad cells, the unhealthy cells, and move through her body like that. So she got to a point that she was actually picturing that in her mind. She was getting herself into a meditation and more of like a hypnotic state type of thing, that she could work with that stuff going through her body to help her in that sense. So somebody that has gone from being told she's got a couple of months to live has gone out to 3 or 4 years or whatever it was. Now, unfortunately, she passed away about a month after her wedding, but she got her dream wedding. She got to see her son start school. She was realistic but determined. She knew where she wanted to get to. So the power of the mind can be a really strong thing, and it can work against us at times, but it can certainly work for us at times. And it is very much about reprogramming yourself. Okay. So from me, um, oh, Naomi just said, "I just had a big cry because I can't reach out my blanket and didn't want to ring the bell." Ask for help, honey. There is nothing wrong with that. All right. It's about nurturing yourself. I wish I could reach out and pull it out for you, hun. Okay. There is nothing wrong with having limitations and nurturing ourselves. Okay. It's how we move forward. Like I said, Naomi, it's about knowing what pain to push through and not to. You are just out of surgery, hun. Don't put so much pressure on yourself, because we can become our worst own enemy in that sense, okay? And I have been there. There's times I have pushed myself to pretty much wrecking myself and being on the couch for a week or two, not being able to do stuff, okay? Over time and running, like I said, I'm a mum with 2 kids. I've got a household to run and stuff like everybody else does. I run a business as well where I help other people. The work I do is very exhausting mentally and physically, okay? It can take a lot out of me, but I pace myself. Like, I'm about to work the big expo here in Adelaide at the end of May. In that week, in that 2 days, I could do 40 readings, but I have scheduled the week off after, knowing that I am going to hit bottom. My body is going to fall in a heap, and I need to nurture myself. Okay. So I sort of balance myself out in that way. And in that time, I will work on my breath work. I will work on stretching, keeping my body moving, sleeping when I need to without feeling guilty, and just nurture myself with food and different foods and stuff like that as well. Sometimes with my chronic, with my fibro and my chronic fatigue type thing, I find Gatorade. I might drink a big bottle of Gatorade, like I'm talking a litre or a litre and a half or whatever they are, 1.25 litres in a day to nurture myself. Okay, thanks. Mum's just letting me know there is a scammer there. Please, people, if somebody inboxes you, asks you to tags you in the comment, asks you to inbox them, please don't. They are scammers. They will harass you for money. They might ask you to join something and then ask you for a credit card. Please do not react to them. I will go through at the end of the show and remove them. In that sense, I don't think Roz is watching tonight, so she wouldn't be monitoring them. But please do not take any notice of them or engage with them. Okay. So thank you for those letting me know. All right. So if we can nurture ourselves through pain and push it through that, change our mindset, we can start to live more of a balanced life. Okay. I also try to surround myself with positive people, okay, uplifting people, because I find when I'm around negative people, what can happen is because I'm an empath, I can take on their energy and that can bring me down as well. So think about who you're surrounding yourself with. Are you around people that are going to help you, lift you, or are they going to bring you down and criticize you, judge you in that sense? Okay. Something else I do in the way of my mindset is I see a mirror between myself in my mind and that other person with a reflective side facing them. So if you are around somebody that is quite negative and judgy, see that mirror in your mind between them and reflect that energy back at them. So what you're doing is you're not taking it on. You're not allowing them to bring you down. I like to think of it as giving them a dose of their own medicine, showing them back what they are like in that sense. Okay. You don't need to, I want to say, you don't need to please people. You need to nurture yourself and do what is right for you in that way. Okay. The scammer's asking people to send them a friend's request. Please don't. Okay. Like I said, you send them a friend's request, they then hack your page by that friend's request. All right. So just if you go down that pathway, I'll let you know, warned you. All right. So look at how you're like what you're doing. Are you keeping do you keep moving? Know your limits, know when to push through the pain and keep going, and know when to stop. Work on your breath work, okay? Meditation is another good way because what we do is we focus on our breathing, which raises our vibration. And it might take people time to learn how to switch their mind off or focus their mind on one thing, but keep practicing, okay? I see my body being happy and healthy. All right. And if you are somebody that is good at visualization, something that I quite often do is my left knee is better than my right knee, but it's not 100%. So I feel in my mind, I sit there and I close my eyes, focus on my breath work, and focus on what my left knee feels like when my right knee is really bad. Okay. And I take that energy and I transfer it into my right knee. So I imagine that feeling that's in my left knee and I take it into my right knee. And it's amazing when we can do that, the difference that we feel in our own body. Okay. Has anybody ever tried that? Taking the feeling of one place and moving it into another. Keza says, not at more than I went through that for 25 years with my ex, and I am so strong now that I left, much happier now. Beautiful. Excellent. It really is about putting ourselves first. Okay. We really do need to nurture ourselves. Nicole's just acknowledging. Okay. I like that, Nicole. I actually told the scammers that the other day. You may have been watching. I leaned in and I just went, piss off. sort of thing. Yeah, thanks, Mum. Nicole did say it well. And so I want you to look at ways that you can generate tools that can help you for different situations because we could be out in public and be really struggling and be using these tools on our breath work. Visualization, it helps so I can say it properly, in that sense, in moving pain, moving energy, because what we're doing is we're bending time, we're transferring energy from one place to another, and we can help that in that sense. Okay. There's other techniques you can do. You can create your own. Okay. If you've got back issues, see yourself visualizing that area and putting love and healing into it and, strengthening that area at the same time. Okay. Naomi says, "Thank you for tonight. Good night and God bless." Same to you, honey, and sending you lots of love and healing as well and a speedy recovery. All right. You might want to come back and watch the end of this. I will finish up very shortly, though. Okay. So we can make choice. We can choose to sit in that pain, that energy, and become the victim to it, or we can turn that pain and what we are feeling and drive us, push us, okay, become more determined. Because I know for myself, I stopped being the victim because I used to be the victim in my pain and what everything else that was going on. And I chose that I wanted to turn that around and make it stronger. So even if you're going through physical pain or emotional pain, look at what the cause is, go back into it and try to heal that. As I said before, we can quite often still have pain, but the injury itself has healed because our nerves ourselves remember that pain. So if we can go in and see those nerves, that those cells being happier and healthy in that area of our body and breathe out that heavy energy that surrounds them, it's amazing the difference that we can make. Now, I know some people might think I'm crazy by saying the mind is a powerful tool in itself, but I've been there. I've had the struggles. I live with it daily and I choose to find a balance. And I wanted to share my situation and what I go through every day with you, hoping that just by the tools, the things, and the mindset that I use and have incorporated over time may help you make a slight difference in your life and how you live with that. Okay. And Nicole says, "I thank you so much, Leanne. I need to fix my neck, and I think you're helped tonight. It has been ruining my life. It's an emotional pain." And that's the thing, honey. And I know you've heard me talk about it before. We can also carry pain in our body for different reasons, like quite different parts of your body can relate to different parts of your life in that sense. Now, I know the hip area, the reproductive area, is very much around mother issues. I know my mum's here watching. Sorry, mum. But that on the energetic side of stuff very much is around that as well. The glasses. What's that about? Oh, no, sorry, I missed that one. Anyway, thank you for so much being. Oh, yep, the glasses. I think that's to do with your nana, isn't it, honey? The glasses. Okay. Nana in spirit is what I mean for those that don't know what I'm talking about. So, oh, yeah, Cameron. Okay. Yeah, I get you there with the 4 hours. Green juice. Yep, beautiful. Naomi says green juice is great if you have a juicer. And that's the thing, there are foods out there that can help us. I didn't click on that, but that's all right. We just need to, find those things that help us. Food can help us detox a lot of energy and stuff as well. Okay. Jody says, "Thank you. I've been trying breathing through things." Yeah, excellent. So when you're in pain or you're stressed or whether you've got mental health issues that are coming up and stuff, do the breath work. first of all, go there. That's the first place I go, is slow my breath down, because I can get into that shallow breathing, or used to get into that shallow breathing really easily without doing it. And then things just get heightened. But what we're doing when we're shallow breathing also, I've got to say, is we're suffocating our energy field. We're shrinking it down and throwing it out of balance. So if we're doing that deep, slow, calm breath, we're raising our vibrations, which also gets the endorphins and stuff going in our body that helps us feel better and more relaxed and stuff like that as well. Exercise. I'm a fan of exercise. I don't do it enough, but moving, we get that body circulating. Nicole, I'll read your message then. I've seen the other one. When we're moving, exercising, we're breathing, we're raising our vibrations, okay? And it gets the blood flowing again as well. So, like I said before, I'm a big believer, if we don't use it, we lose it, whether it's our mind or it's our physical body. In that sense, things will start to shut down. Yeah. Yeah, it's typical, Cameron. They will do that. They will open an account with multiple names. There are even accounts out there that are with my name, but the spellings are fraction different. They are using my face, my pictures, my posts, and sharing them to these pages. So if you get friends requests from me, please ignore them, okay? In that sense. But take time for yourself, nurture yourself. Try not to get too much in your head, because when we get in our head, things become heightened. Grounding our energy can be a positive thing as well. And I quite often say to people that are overthinkers or very much in their head and can't change that focus, wiggle your toes, feel your feet, your toes, how they move, because what you're doing when you do that is taking your focus from your head down to your feet, which is going to ground your energy as well. Another tool that I have recently just incorporated and share with my clients is take your left hand, put on the right shoulder, your right hand to your left shoulder, and see how we create that crossover. And that crossover pretty much is in our heart space, our heart chakra area. So if you take the focus to how your arms are crossing over, or you might want to imagine a loved one's face in that area, breathe into that space and focus on the slow, deep breath in that sense, because it's going to help you take your focus from your head down into that heart space. That's going to raise your vibrations and get out of that panicky mode as well. Okay. And I blocked it. Oh, beautiful, Cameron. Thank you. Keza says, I get that from walking up and down the hills and steps. Beautiful. That's hard work. Okay. Louisa says, thank you for your time and positivity. You are very welcome, honey. It's my pleasure to see you as well. All right, guys, I could go on and on about this. It is getting a bit late here in the Adelaide Hills, but hopefully you have been able to take something away from tonight and the tools, and sharing my sort of situation with you a little bit. I guess the big thing I would like you to remember is also, please know you're not alone. There's always somebody out there, and all you need to do is reach out and ask for help, okay? Even if it's calling on and knowing and trusting that your loved ones that have passed over are very much around you and keeping an eye on you in that sense. All right. My heart goes out to everybody. I do send a healing and love out to all those that are open to it. And if I can be able to help in any way, please do reach out. My website is leannewinston.com, or here on Facebook as Leanne Winston Psychic Medium in that sense. And like I said, I am always here and willing and happy to listen and help where I possibly can. All right. So kind of feel like there's more I need to say, but if this is something that you're interested, and I'm just even thinking maybe we could do maybe once a month sort of catch up and share, and maybe people could come up on screen with me and we can talk through what's going on in their life. And just remember that sometimes your pain, whether it's physical or emotional, can go back to things that has happened in your life, trauma, different things like that as well. Okay. All right, I'm going to wish you all a very lovely night. If you know somebody that may benefit from this video, please do tag them in it, share it, invite them to watch it. Like I said, if I can just give somebody one thing through my own experience to help your life move with a little bit more ease, my job is done in that sense. And Nicole's just saying, I think it's needed tonight. Wow, wonderful. I wonder why Spirit drew me, Nicole, a couple of days ago. And it's funny because people keep getting put in front of me that are dealing with pain. And last week, inside of my Epic Life private Facebook group, for those that are in it, I run a 5-day challenge each month. And day one, it actually went off in a rant about how living with pain and the tools that we can use for it. I can't even remember what I had scheduled for that day. And somebody watched that and just said how much it helped her. And then somebody else commented about how they're living with help and they just need some guidance and that sort of stuff. So that's pretty much how this led to tonight in that side of okay. Keza says, night, sweetheart, sweet dreams. Thank you, honey. Same to you. I have goosebumps. I always say goosebumps for me is clarification, honey. So yeah, confirmation. Wonderful. I love it. Okay. I just want to say for those that are intuitive and are empath, will take on other people's emotions, and you might find that you get emotional at the drop of a hat or the sound of music and stuff. When you're an empath, you can take on other people's pains and emotions as well. So there is also a very fine line between that side of stuff as well. So I quite often ask myself, is it my pain? Yes or a no answer. And I'll get a yes or a no in my head. If it's mine, I go further in and I look at why I've got that pain, what it's about. If it's not mine and I get the no answer, I give gratitude and I release it back to the universe. So there's another trick also that may help as well. Cameron is just saying, I hope you have a good night's sleep. Take care. Thank you, honey. And all the best for your surgery too. Let me know how you go. All right. That's something else with surgery. And when we're in pain, see the tablets working for you when you need it. Okay. When you're going through that stage where you do need the painkillers and stuff, see them working for you, not against you. Okay. Tyler, thank you for your time tonight. You are very welcome. Don't forget, if you are new to my page and haven't seen it before, hit the follow button as well, because I try to go live regularly and share stuff. I might even do card readings or whatever. I would love to connect with you all more. Take care. Blessings to everybody. Love and healing to those that are open and willing to receive it. And I wish you all the very best. Night for now.